Welcome to South Asia Chat, a podcast brought to you by the Institute of South Asian Studies at the National University of Singapore. I am your host today, Claudia Chia, a research analyst at the Institute. On 10 May, Yoon Suk Yeol was sworn in as South Korea's new president and the leader of the nation's first conservative government in 5 years. Yoon is a first-time politician and former prosecutor general who has actively voiced a desire for closer relations with the US, taking a harder line on North Korea and reducing dependence on China. His leadership is expected to revise many aspects of South Korea's foreign policy goals, and the Indian Prime Minister Modi congratulated the new South Korean president in his tweet that he looks forward to working together to further and strengthen and reach the India-South Korean ties. Here at South Asia Chat today, we want to discuss the new foreign policy goals of the Yoon administration and how it will impact the relations between India and South Korea. It is my pleasure to be joined in this session by Dr. Lakhvinder Singh, Director of Peace and Security Studies at the Asia Institute in Seoul, South Korea. Welcome to South Asia Chat today, Dr. Singh.
Thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be with you.
Now we go on to our first question. Do you see a clear difference between the foreign policy goals of the new administration under President Yoon and the previous administration under President Moon Jae-in?
Yes, there's a crystal clear difference in North Korea, China, Japan, USA, Southeast Asia, and economic engagement policy with East Asia. Stronger alliance with USA is a hallmark of June administration. During Moon presidency, USA did not have a full-time ambassador to Korea for most of the time. We are also expecting improvement in Korea's USA ties. June envisions additional deployment of THAAD against the protection of North Korean missiles, so difference is very clear on many fronts.
So, in his campaigning efforts, President Yoon has called for deepening relations with Washington and to strengthen the South Korea and US bilateral alliance. And we know that President Joe Biden is visiting South Korea and Japan in 2 days' time from May 20th to 24th. The meeting agenda will most likely be the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula and the consolidation of allies to compete against Beijing in the Indo Pacific region. So, in this regard, how does the new Yoon administration feel about the Quad? And in your opinion, is it likely for South Korea to formally join the Quad?
Just the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula is expected to be the key issue during Biden's visit to Seoul this weekend. South Korea is most likely to join the Quad sometime very soon. During Moon demonstration, China was refusing to allow uh, Korea to join Quad, but not anymore. US-led initiatives such as Indo-Pacific Construct and Quad are getting a lot of support from the new president. So we are expecting that a new president will tilt towards the USA very fastly. The Indo-Pacific Economic Framework could be launched as soon as this month to fill the gap in engagement policy with the region since 2017 when the President Donald Trump quit TTP. So we are expecting not only Quad but also more deeper economic engagement with USA and the region from South Korea.
So, in this new administration, how do you think India would feature in Yoon's consideration?
I think India will feature very high in June's foreign policy. We are expecting a very big push for stronger India-Korea strategic alignment. For the first time, Indian and foreign policy are perfectly aligned. Both countries want stronger partnership. Not only military ties, we are expecting overall growth in India-Korea ties, trade, investment, cultural. Everything is going to get big push. We are expecting that SIPA may also be updated very soon. Korean tourist flow into India will also increase many fold. Trade target of $50 billion will also get very big push. So as a whole, we are expecting that high time to strengthen India-Korea partnership has come.
So, the high time for both countries has really been ushered in with the new South Korean administration. In that way, how could both countries then boost business connections, cultural linkages, and people to people contact?
As you know, so far, India-Korea relationship are state-driven, state-centric, and state-controlled. Not many government players have very say in the relationship. But we are expecting that with the Moon June administration taking over, more and more private players will be given uh, say into the relationship. So we are expecting new ideas, new perspective will flow into the relationship. So we are thinking a decision making process, which has been so far controlled by few institutions, will get broader participation in the region. I think administration have a strong political will to strengthen the relationship with India. So many problems which were hindering the growth politically will be removed automatically. I think we are expecting a very big improvement in India Korea ties in the coming days or coming years.
Beyond India, how is South Korea engaging with other South Asian countries?
That's a very good question. As you know, during the Moon presidency, South Korea adopted what we call a new Southern policy. Under this policy, South Korea was trying to engage with the Southeast Asia as well as South Asia. So this policy was very successful, uh, and South Korea succeeded in strengthening the relationship. But so far, that policy was focused only on economic engagement. But now we think that with the new administration taking over, we are expecting that South Korea's relationship with Nepal, with Bangladesh, with Sri Lanka will be engaged not only economically but as well as politically and strategically also. I think South Korea will play important role in the growth of these small countries. In that, so India may be a big player in South Asia, but these three countries are going to get a special attention from South Korea under new president.
So, as we see the global world order being increasingly divided among countries, and also the latest crisis of Ukraine that happened in late February, in this global reorientation and a possible upheaval of the world order, what could South Korea learn from the Ukraine crisis and also the new initiative of the Indo Pacific powers?
Yes, ma'am. There is a strong parallel between Ukraine and South Korea. Long, both are torn between the so-called best, the European Union and NATO for the former, and USA for the later, and their mighty neighbors Russia and China respectively. If President Vladimir Putin succeed in toppling Ukrainian government and pay no price, there is then who is to prevent China or North Korea from engaging in similar attacks on South Korea. So South Korea is very seriously worried about the outcome of the Korean or nuclear war. So they are preparing accordingly. I think another important lesson which South Korea will learn from the ongoing economic crisis uh, in Ukraine is that economic sanctions have a limited role to control the behavior of foreign powers. So far, South Korea was using economic sanction as a tool to control North Korea's behavior. But in case of Russia, they failed. So I think in the future, South Korea may not depend so much on economic sanction to control North Korea's nuclear behavior. And I think we are expecting that South Korea will adopt new foreign policy, new initiative to deal with North Korea. Also, we think that important lesson which South Korea is going to learn, no matter how many friends you have, no matter how many uh, allies you have, ultimately you have to depend on your own security. Like Ukraine, Ukraine has many friends before the war, but when the war started, Ukraine was has to defend himself alone. Same thing can happen in South Korea also. So South Korea has to build its own strong army, strong armaments. So I think South Korea is going to prepare accordingly.
Last but not least, do you have any advice or any tips for the people who are watching the new President Yoon for the domestic politics of South Korea? Are you confident that the new conservative government will really help to boost the South Korean economy and bring the foreign policy to a higher level?
As you know, Korea do not occupy very important place in the Indian public. Many people in India don't know about Korea much, so they don't know foreign policy, economic policy of South Korea. So that is why Indian foreign policy because do not give much attention to what is happening in the peninsula. But I think time has come when the average Indian or average people in the region should pay very close attention what President June is trying to do. because his policies are very strongly aligned with the USA and other democracy. So this is a very high time. Singapore, Japan, India, Korea, Australia have a high chance to build join together and build a peaceful Asia. So average people should start taking active interest what is happening in Korean policy. Never before South Korea has a leader which is so proactive, so pro-engaging. As you know, traditionally South Korea is called hermit kingdom. It means South Korea not like to engage with the region. You know, they like to live peacefully by themselves. But not anymore. This president is a strongly proactive president, and he is planning to engage with the region very actively. So, but his efforts, his mission can succeed only if he gets proper support from regional countries. So India, Japan, Singapore, Australia should also properly respond to his policy. If these countries fail to respond, his policy will not succeed. So it has to be once a lifetime because not many times South Korean people are trying to engage with the region. You know, South Korean people are always kind of a hermit kingdom type. You know, they want to live by themselves. They very economically engage, but very rarely. But South Korea, this president is trying to engage multiple ways, not only economic, politically, security-wise, culturally. So this is very good opportunity for all of us. And not many people know about him, but he is a very ambitious person. You know, he want to make Korea as a global power. He's talking about a global partnership. He's not talking about region wise. His vision is so big and so large that he's talking about global partnership. So he's crafting a new policies to engage at a global level. So this shows the new level of confidence in Korean people. You know, this shows the new ideas which are leading Korea's foreign policy. Korea is talking about global partnership for the first time when Korea is seeing itself as a global player in the global stage. But his this policy can succeed only if you get proper response from regional countries. So regional countries should take this opportunity very seriously and open handedly so that he can be embraced. His policies of engagement can be embraced by regional country and everybody can benefit from him.
I see. I myself are very interested in the new developments in South Korea as well, and I, like you, look forward to what the new administration under President Yoon will do for India and South Korea relationship in future. Thank you for sharing your insights with us today, Dr. Singh. We have learned a lot about the new South Korean administration and the future of India and South Korea relations.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm so happy to be with you today.
Yes. With that, we come to the end of today's episode. You were listening to South Asia Chat. To learn more about our work, visit us at ices.nus.edu.sg. You can also get updates from our platforms like Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Thank you.